liberty, and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Abbott.
Abbott?
Here.
Augenbaum.
Here.
Beers.
Here.
Dietz.
Here.
Gelfen.
Here.
Jackson. Here. Malika.
Here.
Whitaker.
Here.
Reesinger.
Here.
Sullivan.
Here. At this time, I would ask for public comments on our agenda items only. Please state your name.
Hi, Melissa Keene. Basically, I would like clarification on the consolidation agreement schedule, which maybe this is what you're going to speak about anyway. Regarding the elected officials, will the ones who are elected now, will they continue to the end of their term as elected? Will there be a new election? And what is the projected date for that? And are all of the members, some of the members, paid positions?
The election for 26 will be held in 25. So the primary in 25 and the general in 25 will be at the same time they typically are. But those will be for the new city in 26. None of these 10 positions will remain. Everybody will have to run for 7 new positions in 25 for 26.
And that date for, you're saying that, is that like at the general election, is that generally go like May and November elections?
Correct, it'll be the May and November. Yep.
And they are not paid positions. Any other questions on agenda items? Old business. Update on our Stamp 2 grant. Chris, I believe that's you.
Yep. In April and May of 2023, KTH Architects was retained to do preliminary site evaluations of the municipal building and 3 fire halls, Oklahoma, North Point, and Friendship. Evaluations of the Oklahoma Fire Hall and the city building, mechanical, plumbing, and electrical systems were completed then in March of 2023. Recommendations and preliminary budgets for the upgrades of the mechanical, plumbing, and electrical systems were estimated to be $575,000 and $750,000 for the fire hall and the city building, respectively. Preliminary floor plans and budgets for the expansion of the city hall and Friendship Fire Hall were completed then in April, and then that's when we shut everything down. So we got to that point, we closed things down with facility planning. Sean and I will be looking at facilities a little bit more specific in this upcoming year. That's what we did with the stamp for facility planning in 2023. Give you an update on the forensic audit as well. May 17th, 2023, with the assistance of DCD, the firm of Boyer and Ritter was retained to complete a forensic analysis of financial records of the city of DuBois. The analysis is to cover the tenure of the most recent city manager. The budget for the analysis was $125,000. Kickoff meeting was held on June 5th, 2023, and the roles and tasks for the project were defined. A secure information sharing account was set up on the SureLink website, and the initial upload of all the data required for the analysis was completed on June 30th, 2023. The analysis is currently on hold pending the release of documents from the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office. The unreleased information is sensitive material to the legal case and will not be available until the completion of the case itself. To date, Boyer and Ritter have invoiced $16,337.48 for the work on the analysis, leaving a balance of $108,662.52. And we'll discuss the disposition of that a little bit later when we're talking about the Stamp 3 grant and amending our Stamp 2 grant.
So
Chris, Chris, on that topic, would it make sense to look at moving that money from the stamp two to amend that under this agenda item.
If you want to talk about it under this agenda item, we have contacted DCD, Terry Conkle here, with us tonight. The 108 is going to be tied up. The court case is not going to happen for a while. We have gotten preliminary approval to reallocate that, amend that stamp two, so we can put it towards our special counsel for unions, pensions, whatever we need to get figured out legal-wise here to move forward with consolidation. Then we go back in under the stamp three for the 108 so that we're not tying up that money and just having it sit there. So, yeah, if you guys would authorize Sean and I to do that, we could submit an amendment to the stamp two grant to reallocate the 108,000 for the special counsel services, and then go back in July for the forensic analysis.
Yep. And it would include reallocation of also the facilities planning. We have, I think, approximately
About 40,000 was already available from that. So this total would be around 150,000 we'd have available for the special counsel.
Make a motion to approve the moving of the 108K for special counsel, pensions, unions, facilities, as explained by city manager Chris.
Okay, so to be clear, we'll be closing out the stamp two grant.
We're using the stamp two grant, we're amending it so that
Okay.
these funds will now, instead of paying for the audit, will pay for the special counsel. So we're not closing the grant, we're just reallocating the funds.
Okay.
And then I think, just to make clear, when we talk about the stamp three, we can go back in for another stamp grant in July to pick that forensic audit back up, and we can explain that a little bit later.
Yep.
I'll second that motion.
Properly moved and seconded. Any questions on the motion?
Yeah, I got a question. We had talked about an additional 40,000. Is that included in this, or is that gonna be something different?
That 40,000 is already available. This
Okay.
108, we're just
Okay.
moving over to join the 40,000. So we'll have approximately 150.
Okay.
No other questions? Vote on the motion?
Abbott,
Yes.
Augenbaugh,
Yes.
Beers,
Yes.
Dietz,
Yes.
Gelfen,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Malika,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes. Um, Consolidation agreement schedule.
Yeah, the consolidation agreement that was put together in 2022 came with a list of milestones. I just wanted to go through a few of those milestones. There are some important ones here we have coming up. As of January 1, 2024, approval from both municipalities is required for either municipality to hire any full-time employee. Just want to make sure everybody is aware of that. In 2024, we have to have alignment of our accounting systems. We're already working towards that. We use the Edmunds accounting software here. Sandy Township is transitioning to that. So hopefully here within the next couple of months, we'll have them on board. Water, sewer, billing will be integrated and streamlined. We'll have a plan for you guys to do that here in the next month or two. June 1st, 2024, the agreement calls for a recommendation on a plan for consolidating the administrative staff. So we'll have the formal organizational chart to present to you here within the next month or two as well for that. And then we should be able to start integrating and cooperating services shortly after that as well. A few things for 2025. Maintain accounting books according to the agreed accounting system. That's the Edmunds I just talked about. Develop a joint budget for 2026. So we'll sit down in 2025 because 26 will be one community. We'll work together to develop that 2026 budget. February 1st, 2025, so just about 12 months away. The tax structure and tax rates for the new city need to be in place. So we don't have a whole bunch of time. That's why we wanted to get here. And the last, two other items. Elections will be in 2025, primary elections, so we're about 13 months away from people submitting their petitions. And then the general election will be in November. May 2025, both municipalities, and then we'll put together the utility rates to pull it all together. And then by the end of '25, we'll have a municipal services plan, and we'll have an integrated police department. So those are the steps generally we need to go through for the next 2 years. So they are approaching quickly. We have a bunch of things that come up here in the next several months.
Any questions from board members?
For the approval of any full-time employees, does that include replacing existing
Yes,
full-time
any
employees that
full-time
would-
employee,
that would-
replacement or
that would
new.
leave?
Does include replacement.
What's that?
No, I didn't think
It did not until 2024. After 2024, the
Okay.
hiring of any full-time employee. Yep.
Yeah, it just requires joint board approval, so if there was something that came up, you know, just come to one of these meetings.
Okay, next I'm looking for approval of the November 7th, 2022 minutes. They were distributed in your packets. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of November 7th, 2022 consolidation meeting minutes.
Properly moved,
I'll second that motion.
seconded. Roll call?
Abbott,
Mary?
Yes.
Augenbaugh,
Yes.
Beard.
Yes.
Yes.
Dietz,
Yes.
Gelfen,
Abstain.
Jackson,
Yes.
Malika,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Reesinger,
Abstain.
Sullivan.
Yes. Moving into new business, first item in our new business is the Sandy Township lawsuit. Sean, would you like to explain a little about that?
Sure, yeah, there's no action needed on this item. We get a lot of questions about the status of that lawsuit, so I just want to make it clear to the public of what's going on. Right now, absent any action by the supervisors, that lawsuit is in a dormant status. So nothing will happen on that unless the Board of Supervisors takes the next action. The Board of Supervisors can either just kind of let it go in a dormant status. They could force an action of some type, or they could dismiss the lawsuit. Kind of three options that they have. There is some benefit to having the lawsuit in a dormant status, especially associated with the forensic audit, where they give some potential for subpoenaing some records for different entities. So not a whole lot going on with, like I said, it is in a dormant status and nothing is happening with it, absent of some action by the Board of Supervisors.
Next on our agenda, we have committees. We'll start with the 9-person consolidation committee.
Yeah, Mark, I can just generally talk about the committees if you'd like.
Please.
Okay. So we've had the 9-member committee, we had a transition committee, and we had a whole host of subcommittees that did a lot of great work and set a lot of the foundation for where we're at today with consolidation. A whole lot of work was done. At this point, there isn't a whole lot of work left for those committees, and we had a lot of different changes in membership. We had retirements of staff and folks that were on those committees. We've had elections that changed the elected officials, and we also have some legal proceedings that have changed potential membership of those committees. So our recommendation at this time is to disband the 9-member, the transition committee and subcommittees, and then reappoint subcommittees as specific tasks come up. And with that specific task, if it does have a monetary component, that there's a budgeted associated with that specific item. Is there any questions, comments? But we do still see a need for subcommittees. They all do need to be reevaluated, and we think that they really need to have a specific task associated with anything we do with that budgeted constraint.
Who will appoint those committees?
That would be the joint board.
Joint board, okay.
You need action on that, Keith?
We do need action.
I'll make a motion to dissolve the committees and subcommittees and transitional committees. A 9-person committee. I think I got them all. Properly move to disband the 9-person committee, the transition committee, and associated subcommittees. Second to the motion?
Second.
Second by Pat. Roll call?
Abbott,
Yes.
Augenbaugh,
Yes.
Beers,
Yes.
Dietz,
Yes.
Gelfand,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Malika,
Yes.
Whitaker,
No.
Reesinger,
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes. Next on our agenda is solicitor. Sean, could you take that for me as well, please?
Yeah, so we had a joint board solicitor position in place, and that joint board solicitor was in place really to establish a consolidation agreement, and there was a whole lot of work that was done to get us to that point back in November of '22, which we did complete. Our recommendation at this time is to eliminate that joint board solicitor position and utilize our own separate solicitors for any legal items that may occur. We think for a number of reasons. First of all, it is a cost savings to both municipalities. Additionally, we see that potentially some of the stuff that the joint board solicitor was going to work on can be obtained through the STMP grant, so that we can additionally get monies to hire a professional and pay that professional through state funds and not out of the municipality's own accounts. So our recommendation is to move forward with eliminating that position. It would require ultimately an amendment of the consolidation agreement, which we could, if that motion is approved, we could look at next meeting.
I have a question, Mark.
Go ahead, Barry.
Under the solicitor, what would happen if the Sandy solicitor and the city solicitor disagreed on a point? Do we end up bringing somebody else in? Could somebody comment on that for me, please?
Yes, thanks, thanks, Barry. Yes, we would bring in a neutral party to resolve that specific disagreement.
Thank you.
I would just like to say I worked with the former solicitor, Chris Gabriel, and I thought he did an outstanding job. I can understand the desire to save money, but I am concerned, same concern that Barry has, that you end up getting mucked up because we disagree on so many things, that it slows the process down.
Has this been discussed with DCED about, does that affect anything?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, we had a meeting with DEC,
Okay.
they're aware we're moving forward this way.
Okay.
I'll echo what you said, Dick. Chris did a fantastic job. I thought he did a good job. I think we'll be able to move forward here more economically. I think we'll be efficient. If we find that things are getting gummed up, we can reevaluate. But I think with the availability of that stamp grant out there, we should take advantage of it.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we amend the consolidation agreement to eliminate the need for a consolidation solicitor at this time.
I'll
Second.
that motion.
Properly moved and seconded. Any additional discussion? Roll call, please.
Do
Abbott,
we have to include, Mark, I have a question.
Go ahead, Barry.
Question of motion. Do we have to include in that motion that we put wording in there that the township and the city will use their own solicitor, or do you feel the motion covers that?
we'll make the, if you agree, we'll make the motion to state that we use each individual municipality's solicitor. Or, I'm sorry.
I think by Robert's rules, that we have to go back to the person that makes the motion and have him amend his motion.
I'll amend my motion to add the language that each entity will use their own solicitor.
I'll second that again, Warren.
Second.
Yeah, but they're gonna still split the cost. That's the way they did with the previous solicitor. Or is Sandy gonna run up a tab and DuBois gonna run up a tab and they each pay their own tab, or is it gonna be combined and split? Or
We had not discussed that. I would have assumed that we would pay our own solicitor fees.
Okay.
But that is definitely open for discussion.
I think that would be the best way to move forward. Each municipality just pays its own. Any,
Well, now we have to go back and amend the motion again. I hate to do that to you guys.
No worries.
It works.
I will restate my motion as a motion to amend the consolidation agreement to eliminate the need for a consolidation solicitor, providing that each entity will use their own solicitor and pay for their own solicitor's costs.
I second that motion.
properly moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Abbott,
Barry?
Yes.
Augenbaum,
Yes.
Beers.
Yes.
Yes.
Dietz,
Yes.
Gelfand,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Malika,
Yes.
Whitaker,
yes,
Reesinger,
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes. Next on our agenda is Stamp 3 grant. We touched on this briefly. Chris, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, the Stamp 3 grant, it has evolved over the last couple of days here. Originally, we were going to limit the special counsel services because we had this 108,000 with the forensic audit. We're gonna come back in July for a second special counsel phase. Now we can do, I believe, all the special counsel with the Stamp 2. The Stamp 3 would then be for the forensic audit. So that just made things a little cleaner here.
You need any action on that tonight?
We don't need any action on that tonight. Nope, just wanted to give you guys an update of what was coming in the future. So Stamp 3 should be for back to the audit.
Okay.
Next agenda item is to establish our meeting dates for 2024. Proposed meeting dates are the third Wednesdays of each month at 6 p.m. here at the City Building. I would think that if we find attendance outgrows the venue here, that we will move it. But I think this evening, we look like we're in pretty good shape. So I would think our February meeting we'll plan on holding here at 6.
You need a motion on those?
Our previous meetings, we held close to, or after a council meeting, or, you could even do it after a supervisor's meeting to keep people from going out and not going out twice.
A lot of people I talked to thought that a lot of times we rush through those meetings because you had a council meeting at, 7? We'd meet at 6, and then you guys would have to go right into your council meeting. And then we went right into our supervisor meetings sometimes. That's, I think, the reason that I got the feedback for Wednesday, third Wednesday. But that's just a suggestion.
Any chance of having that on a Monday? At that third week?
Right now, we're second and fourth, they're first and third.
First and third.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
There's
okay.
a meeting every Monday right now.
Okay, that's right, I remember we changed that for a year when our meeting time to coincide with yours.
So we could have the opposite.
Okay, thank you.
If those dates and times are agreeable, I would like a motion.
I'll make that motion. the third Wednesday of the month at 6 o'clock, City Hall, DuBois City Hall.
Moved by
Second.
Pat,
Second.
second by Jennifer. Roll call, please.
Abbott,
Barry?
Yes.
Augenbaugh,
Yes.
Spears,
Yes.
Deeds,
Yes.
Gelfen,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Malika,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes. Draft RFP for special counsel. I know that was in our packets this evening. Would anyone like to comment on that?
Yeah, I can just talk about the scope of work we're looking for in that RFP. Again, we talked a little bit about moving that money for the stamp to reallocating that for this specific item. So just the scope of work we're looking for is to assist in negotiating extensions of the police contract, to identify and recognize, if required, any collective bargaining units that will represent the uniform and non-uniformed employees. Negotiate the terms of new collective bargaining agreements to become effective on January 6, 2026. Prepare amended civil service rules and regulations for those employees covered by civil service, and developing a mechanism for transition through which current police officers of both Sandy and DuBois have continued employment with the new city and continued civil service status and protection. Research effective and efficient methods to consolidate the uniform and non-uniform pension plans. Review the personnel policies and employee handbook, and help with any other labor or employment issues that may arise. So yeah, Mr. Chairman, we'd like to put out that RFP tomorrow and have proposals back in and for our next meeting for you guys to consider awarding.
Okay,
Make a motion, we approve the RFP request for special counsel.
okay, it's motion to approve advertising the RFP for special counsel. Second,
I'll second that motion.
second by Bill. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Abbott,
Barry?
Yes.
Augenbaugh,
Yes.
Spears,
Yes.
Deeds,
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Jackson. Yes. Malika,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes. Next on the agenda is to authorize the manager's work. We've talked about aligning of accounting systems, organizational chart, and facilities use, staff locations. I guess I'd like a motion to authorize the managers to continue working on the alignment of these. To
I'll
keep,
make that as a motion, Mark.
Second?
any questions? Roll call, please.
Abbott,
Barry?
Yes.
Augenbaugh,
Yes.
Spears,
Yes.
Deeds,
Yes.
Gelfen,
Yes.
Jackson. Yes. Malika.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes. Time for joint board member comments. Start your end, Bill.
Keep it simple.
I'm just glad, we're back on track here, getting things going again. Got a lot of work to do in a short period of time, so just glad we're all meeting again and looking forward to working with each other.
Sam?
I likewise, I'll second that, what Tim said, and it feels like we're actually gonna be consolidated, so I'm happy to have that feeling, so.
We'll switch ends here and go to Jennifer.
Nothing at this time.
Elliot?
Glad to be on the committee. Looking forward to working with everyone to bring the communities together, move DuBois forward.
No comment.
Happy to be moving forward again.
Pat?
Good progress tonight. I like how it worked.
And I think everybody's echoed how I feel. I'm glad that we're finally coming together. Managers, do you have anything to add? Sean?
I'll just point out it's been really great working with Mr. Nasuti thus far. I think we've already have a lot in line to promote these tasks that we have, and look forward to working with the joint board, the new joint board members, and getting this consolidation done.
Yep, I'd echo that. Sean and I have worked well together here in the last few months. I did want to recognize all the committees, subcommittees, council that we've had up to this point that built this foundation, that built the consolidation agreement. The work we're going to do from here is going to be relied heavily upon the work that was done previous. So we're going to take what was done, given to us, and take it from broad scope and get it into its final form. So I did want to recognize everybody that helped out here the last 2 years to get us to this point.
Okay, at this time we'll open the meeting to the floor for comment.
Thanks, Mark.
I'm sorry, Barry.
So you heard that.
That's all right. Hey, just because it's 75 degrees down here and sunny, you don't have to forget me. You know, I would just like to reach out and say, welcome to Pat, Elliot, Jennifer, and Dick Whitaker to the Consolidation Board. We have a ton of work ahead of us, and as I stated before, I'm 100% behind consolidation, and tonight we hit the deck running, and let's keep this thing moving forward. Thank you.
Again, I'm sorry, Barry. This time
No problem, Mark. I'm harassing you, but I appreciate the time.
we'll open the meeting to the floor for a comment. State your name, please, sir.
Dr. Harold Webster. I was on the Zoning and Ordinance Subcommittee, and we reached a point where we were looking at combining the zoning areas for the two municipalities. And at that time, I think we needed to have funding in order to get that work done. Has that been done, or is it still?
That has not been done. That still needs to be done. Yep. So when we get that, the funding special counsel for that particular work will reconvene. Most likely that committee specifically. You guys did a fantastic job in getting to that point. So we'll get the opinions from that. Sean and I will work with them. And that'll be an example of where we'll reach back out to committees and put things back together.
Yeah, I just would kind of add what Chris said. We have a little bit more time to get that task accomplished, so kind of our priority is getting these pensions and union contracts squared away.
Yep.
State your name, please.
Mark Dimitravi. It's finally great to see everybody working together here, finally. You know, I gotta make that statement because I've been sitting for how long we've been sitting through all this and everything. And it's finally great to see everybody in this one room here working together, trying to get things done here now, you know? So that's all I need to say, I think.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Joel Keane. I was just wondering, with the time restraint that you have, is it possible to ask for more time so you're not rushed to making decisions? Sometimes when you're rushed making decisions, the best decisions aren't made. If there's a little more time involved, maybe, or are you held by this time constraint where there's no moving forward, or no a lot extra time allotted because of the time that was lost?
I'll take that one.
Go ahead.
I guess first off, Mr. Keene, the statute's pretty clear on the time frame. So as far as an extension, absent of some court ruling, there wouldn't be an extension. But I will say a lot of the foundation has been set already, like Chris alluded to, and just coming back and filling the details. We think we can get it done. We think we can with cooperation amongst the elected officials. So yeah, I think we have a lot ahead of us, but definitely manageable.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? Close the meeting to the floor. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Roll call. Pat? Or did you make it?
Sure.
Yeah, Pat was the second.
Abbott,
Barry, adjourned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Augenbaugh,
Yes.
Spears,
Yes.
Dietz,
Yes.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Malika.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
I want double pay.
When you held the finger up, I thought you meant.
There's a slight delay, so there's a slight, yeah. We'll get it.
You didn't know you were gonna have to wrangle there.
It's only for 3 more months. All right, hey, have a good night, Barry.
See you, Barry.
Thank you.